Okay, we're continuing on with Four Seasons, and I've got my kind of small brush here. And what we're going to do, we're going to go with a little bit of white in the sky here, and we're going to just give it a little of extra flare. We're just going to make it look like the clouds are up here and the clouds are just dancing around. We want to give it a little extra character, that's all. There we go. Okay, we got enough character there, maybe. Now, this wagon here, its handle we're going to do away with. We'll come back and fix it in a little bit. Now we're going to add some white and some brown together to make some light brown. And we're just going to go in our path here and give it a little bit of character. We just want to give it a little character so that it look like it's well traveled and so that it doesn't look like just a brown glob. This is a folk art piece of artwork, so it's not going to totally be realistic, but we don't want it to look horrible either. Okay, and I think we might go in the sky here and just settle down this poof of smoke a little bit. We don't want it to be too much. We just want to settle it down just a little bit. So we're just going to kind of simmer that down a little bit so it just blends in a little bit there. I believe we might be done with that little brush. We're going to try a real small little brush. And what we're going to do, we're going to mix a little bit of black and white, and we're going to make kind of a real light gray. We just want to go in. We're going to add a little bit of water to that. We just want to go in and real lightly put in a little bit of details on our buildings. And we're going to begin with this building. We're just going to put a little bit of detail work just to make it kind of look like it's got some character. Okay. Now, we're going to add just a little bit of detail work around the door. Over here, we want that door to show out just a little bit more. And the same there. We'll probably settle that down just a little bit. But, okay, we're going to get a little bit of black here. And I'm just going to go with a little bit of black underneath of the snow, just to give it a little more contrast. Contrast is difference between light and dark, just to give it a little bit of extra contrast, just so that I just want the roof to show out a little bit more, because details are what's going to make a picture. And maybe go with a little bit of black right in here underneath the roof there. We don't want to overwhelm it, we just want to make it show out a little bit better. And I'm going to go with just a little bit right here as well. There we go. There we go. Okay, I believe I'm going to put a handle on this wagon and put it more at an angle. That way it shows up a little bit more. Now I'm going to go with a little bit of gray, and I'm we'll put some gray into this side of this wagon because I just don't want the wagon to show up a lot. I just want to settle it down. There we go. And settle the handle a little bit. I don't want it to overwhelm, I just want it to look nice. Now I might take a little bit of brown and go into the road a little bit and just give it a little bit of more character. I like our light brown, but I want it to be a little more subtle. So we just go into here and kind of settle that down, make it look weathered a little bit there. Now I think I'm going to go right around the edges of these doors. All I want that to do is just barely. All I want is just barely. So I'm just settling that down quite a bit. See how that just barely shows you a little bit? Now I'm going to go with black around right up here. I'm just going to go around the circle there. And I'm going to go around the edge. I just want to give it a little more pronounced look right there. Okay. Now, I do believe I may go underneath the wagon just a little bit. Put a little bit of shadow. Because under the wagon there would definitely be some shadowing. Put some shadows. And I'm going to go with just a little more gray on the handle because I really do not want that to show out much at all. That handle is just a handle that's there and it doesn't need to be predominant. And I'm going to go on a little bit more gray on our wagon. This old wagon is just an old wagon that probably is falling apart. And we're going to go around this area just a little bit. That's probably a door that kind of swings down or something like that. I really don't know. And we're going to go a little bit around here, just a little bit of shadows, so that it kind of looks like that our hay is shadowy. And we're going to go with a little bit of shadowing up in here also. We're just trying to give it a little bit more character. That's about it. I'm going to go with a little bit just to give that yellow window. I'm just giving it a little extra pop. I'm just going in with a little bit of color on the bottom. That gives it a lot more pop, and that's what we want. We just want it to pop out at you and to be interesting. That's the main thing. We just want it to be interesting. Okay, I'm going to define this just a little more. And on the covered bridge, some of it is going to be darker down in here. That part wants to kind of be open there. So we just want that part to be open a little bit more. And I got a little bit, I could have left a little bit more light color. Okay. I took away just about all the light color and I wanted to leave a little bit more. It's kind of hard to get things to look exactly like you want them. But through time and through patience, you can get it. But you're making your little world. So remember, you're creating things to be your way. So there is no grand perfect. You're creating your little world. So enjoy creating your little world. We're going to go with a little bit of gray. And we're just going to go right down here. We want to define the covered bridge. Just a little. Not a lot. We just want to give the covered bridge a feeling of like the feeling like it's got some detail work. But the great thing about folk art is you're just representing. So it's not going to be perfect 100%, but you just want to create your little world and enjoy creating. I think the last thing I might do here, maybe, I'm going to put a little bit more gray, which is kind of mixed with white, but I'm putting a little bit more on there, a little bit on the wheels. And I believe that we might sign this. Okay, I believe we're done with this one. Come back and visit me real soon.